The latest on Qantas shortly, but first to Gladstone. It was once a fishing-friendly coastline, but these days there are fears that local waters are gaining the reputation as a dead sea. An unprecedented number of diseased or dead marine life has been found this year, and there's debate about whether Mother Nature or industrial growth is to blame. A government report out today found 3 metals in harbour water, aluminium, copper and chromium, exceed national guideline levels. But there's no clear evidence they're harming marine life. However, fishermen say their industry is collapsing before their eyes. From Gladstone, Marlena Wapp reports.
It's a sight no fisherman wants to see. In the waters off Gladstone, a dead dugong bobs up and down. A worrying indicator of what's happening below.
Yes, VMO, just wishing to notify that there is a dead dugong floating between the mouth of the Calliope River and Tide Island.
Darren Brown has been fishing off the central Queensland coast since he was a boy. He's never seen anything like this.
Thank you for that call. I'll notify Parks from now, guys.
Like his fellow fishing operators in Gladstone, Darren Brown is alarmed at the soaring pace of marine animal deaths and disease.
We have actually dropped probably by 70-80% in turnover. This time last year we had 14 staff. Now I've got about 5.5, including counting casual. Turnover's right down, cash flow's down. I've actually tied my trawler up due to just not viable to operate.
The Gladstone coastline is a World Heritage listed area about 70 kilometres from the Great Barrier Reef. Fishing is a popular pastime for locals. For many, it's the family business.
There you go, thanks. Thank you. See you later. Bye.
But ever since the outbreak of disease in marine life here, the industry has been in panic mode. In mid-September, reports of diseased fish prompted the Queensland Government to enforce a 3-week fishing ban around the region. Fishermen were catching blind barramundi covered in red sores.
See how his fins are not nice and neat? And all the slime.
Recently, it was revealed some bull sharks have also been affected.
I had observers from the Queensland Government on board the boat again. We went out and lo and behold we started pulling bull sharks with really bad lesions on them.
Fishermen caught 10 sharks covered in unusual red blotchy patches.
Their jaws dropped. There was a quick couple of phone calls to Brisbane. They told them to take the samples straight away.
Biosecurity Queensland scientists believe red spot disease and parasites are infecting fish, but they're still searching for the cause. Conservationists blame the rapid growth of industrial activity on the harbour.
This LNG coal seam gas industry is exceeding the capacity of science to understand what's going on and exceeding the capacity of both the companies and government agencies to properly monitor what's going on.
Michael McCabe believes a large-scale dredging project has contaminated the water. In June, the Gladstone Ports Corporation started dredging the harbour. It's aiming to move 46 million cubic metres of seabed over the next 20 years.
The Western Basin is going to be the most important industrial port precinct on the east coast of Australia, and it allows for up to 30 berths to be created in the Western Basin.
The dredging project is designed to expand the harbour so large container ships can eventually carry liquefied natural gas from nearby Curtis Island to the rest of the world. 3 companies, Arrow Energy, BG Group and Santos, are spending billions of dollars to establish LNG plants on the island. The Ports Corporation's chief executive, Leo Cezzino, admits dredging has encroached on fishing areas, but he insists there's no science to prove it's making fish sick.
We are causing an impact upon commercial fishermen's harvest in Gladstone Harbour while we are dredging, but we are not causing, in our view and all the scientific evidence we've seen, any impact upon fish that's causing disease in fish.
It's not just marine life getting sick. Many fishermen too are breaking out in rashes and fear the harbour water is making them ill.
Itchy, really itchy.
Mark McMillan is one of those who became sick after coming into contact with harbour water. He says he started noticing changes in his catches a few months ago.
I caught 15 tonne of barramundi before the dredging started. Not one of them had any sign of disease. About a month after the dredging started, they started getting disease.
But you just can't come in here on top of a traditional industry that has been around for 100 years.
National Senator Ron Boswell is on board with the local fishing industry. He believes operators are facing ruin and deserve compensation.
Because this harbour is going to be very, very busy. There's going to be big floating gas bottles coming in here, coal barges. Maybe you just can't fish here professionally, and maybe we've got to recognise that.
That's something the Ports Corporation is considering. But Leo Cezzino stresses any compensation would be for a loss of fishing areas, not because fish have been sick.
We've got letters from the commercial fisherman's lawyer back in May, with photographs of diseased fish. We hadn't started dredging. So, it's a pretty tall order from there to then say it's the dredging project that's causing the diseased fish.
Scientific results could now play a huge role in how compensation negotiations are played out. Research by Fisheries Queensland says that the wet summer may have been a factor in the harbour's poor health. It says Gladstone's Awonga Dam overflowed and that could have posed a problem. A report on the matter says, "We believe that the estimated 30,000 barramundi washed over the spillway at Awonga Dam between December 2010 and March 2011 due to overtopping has contributed significantly to the number of fish seen with symptoms. The addition of so many large barramundi in the Boyne River below the dam would have significantly increased competition for food and increased physical stress levels of all fish." The state government has appointed an independent scientific panel to conduct more research. That panel requested that the Ports Corporation make its metal tests in the water more rigorous, so for the first time dissolved metals including arsenic, aluminium and cobalt will be monitored. While fishing operators wait for answers to those tests and more, they say they know one thing for sure: the future of their industry is bleak.
We've been local business for 20 years now, and for something to come in and just take it away from you in 6 weeks, it's heartbreaking. I've got a young family, I've got to support them, and the pressure's immense, I can tell you that. But I guess worst of all, it's an environmental disaster. There's no need for those things to be floating belly up in this harbour.